Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 9. The discussion on the fruits of karma. That day was Thursday. It was sunrise time. The hour of planet Jupiter was passing. Sri Tirumala Das and I were in a room in deep meditation. A fine ray of sunshine entered our room. Wonder of wonders! In that fine ray of sun, both of us saw the form of Sripada Sri Vallabha. When the sunshine entered our room, we returned to normalcy from meditation. To witness the most holy and utmost auspicious form of Sripada Sri Vallabha as a lad of 16 years is undoubtedly only on account of generous grace of the great Lord. That splendid auspicious form gave darshan for a second and then disappeared. The chickpeas kept as an offering to the Lord turned into metallic pieces by the rays of sun. That was amazing as well as irksome. We were worried mentally whether the appearance of the Lord was a sign of grace and whether the change of the Bengal gram into metal pieces was a sign of his wrath. Then Tirumala Das began to tell, Shankara Bhatt, this afternoon you can start for Kurvapuram after accepting my hospitality. The permission of Lord Sri Datta is issued. In the midday on Thursday, Lord Datta would seek alms in Datta Kshetra. That is very auspicious time. Then I said, Sir, every day we are spending time with the recollection of Sri Datta and with narrations of the episodes of Sri Datta. It is painful that the piece gave as offering turned into metallic pieces. Kindly remove my doubts and make me fulfilled. Tirumala Das began to speak thus. My son, after some centuries when Kali Yuga advances, atheism becomes rampant. The Lord, through various strange and astonishing miracles, destroys atheism and establishes theism. He thus blesses living beings. In the incarnation of Sripada Sri Vallabha, Lord Datta grants the seed form for the programs of establishment of dharma in future. The consciousness in metal lies in dormant state. In metallic stage, life exists internally. Due to various chemical actions of the metal, life emerges. Mind exists in life as an inner ingredient. The consciousness in the life form is a semi-dominant state. You can see this clearly in trees. A man who consumes narcotics experiences this state in his body. The nature which expressed itself in the form of life force learns to function through mind in the developed stage attained after evolution. This state can be seen in animals. An animal after complete evolution is called man. Mind works with its total strength, but in mind a supramind transcending ordinary mind exists. It lies in an internal position. Man can become a perfect man through yoga. He can activate the Kundalini force lying in Mooladhara center and take it to the Sahasrara point. There he can also achieve Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa states and experience an identical absorption with Sri Guru, who is an embodiment of supreme light. He derives undefinable bliss in that state, but he conducts himself according to the Mahasankalpa, that is, the great resolve. Therefore, he has no bonds of karma. The shape of that Mahasankalpa is, however, unthinkable, unimaginable, and has an extraordinary tremendous speed. The supramind belongs to the great Lord only. Lord Sripada accepts crores of prayers every moment. He replies to every righteous prayer which is just. He remedies the trouble. He grants every just wish. If the speed of a mind of a man is the speed of a tortoise, the speed of his supramind is highly fierce and beyond thought. The speed of light is also not equal to the speed of his supramind. Even a small prayer of a man or any living being must reach his countless rays of brilliance. He is the support for all visible and invisible forces. The luster in his world is not any other but the cluster of brilliant rays emanating from his ever-shining body only. That is the brilliance of crores and crores of suns. Even the combined brilliance of crores of stars and planets shining in crores of Brahmandas is like the light of a small candle torch before the sun. My child, this is the real and exact nature of Sripada Srivallabha, that formless, attributeless form, having infinite strength, infinite knowledge, and infinite prevalence. Granted vision in a human form, having qualities and shape of Sripada on account of his free and infinite compassion. To understand this, man should achieve perfection and comprehensiveness. The divine form of Sripada Srivallabha. Just as the evolution of man towards divinity is inevitable, God also comes down to lower strata by compressing his infinite limitations. This is called incarnation. This is a continuous yogic process. When once truth is established in creation, it works naturally and effortlessly. Sripada Srivallabha, a personification of truth, knowledge, and infinity, is a supreme divine incarnation descended with an intention to establish several divine truths in creation. He is really Lord Datta. Then I said, Sir, as I am carrying the conversation with you, many new things are unraveled. The real nature of Sripada defies comprehension. I do not know how to write this superb, glorious biography of his. I do not know with what commentaries I should write it. You told about establishing the truth. I heard about establishment of images, but I did not hear about establishment of truth. Kindly explain. Then Tirumala Das said, Dear Shankara Bhatt, you are the person intended to write the biography of the Lord. You write the experiences of devotees of Sripada whom you come across. You record the things they tell. Your commentaries are not necessary. Sri Varu himself will get his biography written through your writing instrument. For you to think more than this is waste. Man eats various types of fruits and foods. They are assimilated on their own accord and give strength to the man. In this procedure, there is no intervention or intelligence of man. The responsibility of man is limited to the acquisition of food. Afterwards, the duty of a healthy body is to internally cook it and give strength to the body. That means earning food is a duty imposed upon you. It is the duty of the body to assimilate the food eaten and render strength. As man is having mind, he enjoys more freedom and there is a chance to do right or wrong. But the body has no such freedom. It must turn the food fit for assimilation and give strength to the body. That is a natural act done effortlessly regardless the likes or dislikes of the person who ate the food. It means that a duty was prescribed to the body. A truth relating to it was established. An act taking place on the principle of truth goes on automatically without our effort or will. Actions and reactions in this nature or creation happen on the basis of truth. Sunrise, sunset, seasons, and the course of planets and stars should take place like this. This is an inviolable law. Liberty was not given to them to make things happen in another way. The omnipresent Lord, having mercy on the living beings in this creation, relaxes to some extent the duties prescribed by him. In Kruta Yuga, everything is achieved by mere will. In Treta Yuga, things are achieved by the performance of sacrifices and rituals. In Dwapara Yuga, they are achieved through the deployment of mantras and astras. In Kali Yuga, Tantra Shastra has importance. In this Yuga, results are achieved by using machines. Simplification is introduced according to the Yuga Dharmas. As the strength and intelligence of people are diminishing, the policy of simplification was decided upon. The vision of Sri Pada can be obtained by relentless meditation. For those who continuously chant and meditate upon Sripada for 3 days and nights, Sripada grants darshan in flesh and blood and bless them. If any man follows a lakh ways for downfall, God adopts 10 lakh paths to uplift him. Lord Sri Datta carries on his administration of this creation with his incarnations and through siddhas, yogis, avadutas, and great siddhis. There is a slight suspicion in your mind as a small seed whether the Sripada is actually Sri Datta of ancient yugas. To remove this doubt, Sripada changed the offering of peas into metal pieces. Mother Anasuya transformed metal peas into eatable peas. He did this to remind us that he is none other than Sri Datta. There is another secret meaning in this. Planet Jupiter in your horoscope is in a debilitated position. There is a relationship between planet Jupiter and Bengal gram peas. Sripada communicated to you through this indication that difficulties due to the affliction of Jupiter are in a seed form, and that he changed them into metal incapable of sprouting any more. There is no possibility for any living creature to enter into this creation without being seen by him in his divine mental horizon. This is a supreme truth. Knowledge relating to truth is well established. Therefore, there is no loss even if all the people who had that knowledge disappeared from the world. When that person who is worthy of that knowledge steps into this creation, that knowledge will itself become wedded to him. Divine powers, long-lived sages, divine incarnations belong to the phenomenon of non-destruction. Human beings belong to the phenomenon of destruction. There is no stipulation that the phenomenon of non-destruction should conform to a particular type of knowledge, position, strength, and movement. Its nature is free. It's total and complete. It is most ancient and most modern too. No action takes place without cause. For all causes and for all actions, the sole phenomenon is the basis. That is above all. That is the nature of Lord Datta. That Lord Datta incarnated for the first time in Kali Yuga with his all splendid potencies as Sripada Srivallabha in Pitakapuram. It is impossible even for 1,000 hooded Adisesa to describe vividly such great Sripada Srivallabha. Sri Vallabha often proclaimed that he would incarnate as Sri Nrsimha Saraswati. Hiranyakasipa obtained very strange boons. It appeared as if his death was impossible. Even then, without infringing the boons granted, the incarnation of Narsimha killed Hiranyakasipa in an exceedingly unimaginable manner. The great devotee Prahalada was saved. Prahalada averred that his lord was in a pillar. Swami manifested it from the pillar. In Kali Yuga, many doubts abound as to whether God is there or not. To suppress the arrogance of Kali Yuga, Hiranyakashipas, and to rescue devotees like Prahalada, Lord Sri Datta incarnated. The speciality of Narsimha incarnation lies in proving the existence of God. Lord Sripada Srivallabha and Sri Narsimha Saraswati are the two incarnations of Sri Datta who came into this universe with two important missions: to suppress the pride of those who abuse God and to protect their devotees, just like the eyelids protecting the eyes. There is nothing which is not possible for Sripada. When Tirumala Das was narrating in this manner, a doubt crept in my mind. I was writing Sripada Srivallabha Charitamrutam on Bhujrapatra, that is, the leaves of Indian paper bridge tree. In future, on what type of material people would write this Charitamrutam? At that time, Shalivahana Shaka was running. Sripada informed that in future English Saka would gain prominence. When did the Niryana of Sri Krishna took place? On what date and at what time did Kali Yuga commence? I would believe that Sripada Sri Vallabha was actually an incarnation of Datta if Sripada writes about all these things according to the calculations of time to be adopted by people in future on a leaf to be used by them in future. I was not disclosing my above doubts to Tirumala Das. I was putting up postures as if I was listening to him. I was smiling and looking towards the metallic piece now and then. Suddenly, the voice of Tirumala Das became hoarse. He lost the capacity to speak. While I was listening to the life history of Sripada, I heard a terrible deafening sound. After hearing that explosive sound, I turned profound deaf, unable to hear any sound. Oh, in a second I became deaf and Tirumala Das mute. Tirumala Das was trying to tell something but no word was coming out. I could not hear even a small sound in spite of my efforts to hear. Then I felt sorry in my mind that I got such a doubt which I should not entertain. As a result, I became deaf. It is not a permanent disability. Oh God, what is to be done now? The offering of metallic piece formed into a sentence as Sripada Rajam Sharanam Prapadyaya. In the meanwhile, the chickpeas kept for offering and turned as metallic pieces, moved and stood in the shape of a sentence as Sripada Rajam Sharanam Prapadyaya in Telugu language. There was a small white leaf on them. It was becoming bigger as we were seeing it. It became rectangular in shape. It was having very much low thickness than Bhujra Patra. It was smooth when touched with hands. Letters were being written in black color in a very beautiful way. There was written in Telugu language and they ran like this. The demise of Sri Krishna took place during 3102 BC, 18th day of February, night, 2 hours, 27 minutes, 30 seconds. That was the year named Pramadi, Chaitra month, Padayami of first fortnight of lunar month. Friday, Ashwini star. Kali entered after the Niryana of Sri Krishna. I was perspiring profusely. All that water in my body was coming out as sweat. There was violent shaking in the body. I was certain that Sripada was invisibly present there. I thought to myself, what a misfortune! It is a far cry for me to reach Kuruvapuram. I need not be surprised even if Sripada assumes the form of Narsimha and slays me. What can I do if he orders Tirumala Das to beat, wash and dry me like a fabric? If the Lord orders Tirumala Das would certainly beat me on the washing rock and hang me for drying after the wash. Some gurus who boast themselves as wise men endowed with self-knowledge, generally while imparting Brahmagnana to their disciples, shower them with plethora of praises with an eye on milking money from them. The disciple also conducts himself with haughtiness, proclaiming that he was praised by that particular guru. This sort of gurus and shishyas are both blameworthy. It was the ingenuity of Sripada that knowledge of the Supreme was taught to me, born in the Brahmin caste, by Tirumala Das, born in the washerman caste. Those living in the vicinity were engaged in their profession as washermen. They were not discussing such profound things, nor could they understand such matters. Whatever it was, Sripada Sri Vallabha was my sole refuge. I looked at Tirumala Das. His face was placid and shining with the luster of the Supreme. Then it occurred to my mind that Tirumala Das was a Brahmin, and me, with a sullied mind, was a washerman. The offering of peas turned as metal pieces gradually returned to their original shape. I understood that Sripada pardoned me. After some time, that white sheet disappeared. Tirumala Das said, "See, Shankara Bhatt, this Kali Yuga is an age of metals. This age is an admixture of impurities. In compliance with the command of Sripada, I have to take birth again in Maharashtra after staying for some time in Hiranyaloka following my death." Tirumala Das said like this, "Once I took washed clothes to the house of Sripada's maternal grandfather. Then Sridhara Vadani uncle of Sumati Maharani, was carrying Shripada and making him play and was singing Datta Digambara Datta Digambara Datta Digambara Avaduta. Then Shripada was a boy of 2 years. He was crying with joy and playing. That spectacle was very charming to behold. Then I uttered, Shripada Shrivallabha Datta Digambara. Sridhara Vadani looked towards me. Then Shripada said, Nrsimha Saraswati Datta Digambara. Thus, Shripada taught in his own style that he himself is Sri Datta in the past. He was then in the name of Shripada Vallabha on the screen of time. And when that image fades out, he would make his appearance as Nrsimha Saraswati. Samartha Sadguru to incarnate as Shirdi Sai Baba. Shripada said, Grandfather, I want to incarnate as Nrsimha Saraswati in Maharashtra. I am asking Tirumala Das also to come to Maharashtra. Sridhara Vadani was dumbfounded. Then Tirumala Das said, Swami, it is your responsibility to kindly take care of me in any place, in any form, and in any birth. I got special liking for your Balakrishna form. Later, Shripada blessed me. Tirumala Das, you would be born in Maharashtra under the name Gadge Maharaj in the washerman caste. You will become pious in the service of distressed, oppressed, and miserable people. In Dhisila town, my Samartha Sadguru incarnation as Sai Baba in the garb of a Muslim will take place. Then also you would certainly obtain my grace in that incarnation of Samartha Sadguru Sainath. You have fondness for the image of Balakrishna, so you chant the name of Gopala Gopala Devaki Nandana Gopala. I grant you my darshan always in your mental eye. After the fall of this present body, you stay for some time in Hiranyaloka and afterwards work for the welfare of the world as Gadge Maharaj. This is my boon for you. This is my assurance. Sridhara Vadani returned to normal state after some time. All this was perplexing to him. In the meantime, Sumati Maharani called her uncle. An illusion completely enveloped him. Again he thought Shripada as a common boy. Then I said, Sir, I have a doubt. Shri Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita that the fruits of actions are unavoidable. How would Shripada destroy karma without violating the principles mentioned therein? The results of donations and philanthropic acts offered to Sadgurus, Satpurushas, and Yogis. Tirumala Das said, Shri Krishna told that one should experience the results of actions, but he did not specify that they should be experienced only in wakeful state. They can be experienced even in the dreaming state. A karma which has to be suffered physically with the body for 10 years can be undergone through mental anguish or mental torture in dreams for few hours. In that manner, the impact of karma can be erased. By offering services and donations to righteous people and yogis, offering services to deities also results in sinful acts to be diminished. The images of deities are holy. When we render them services, our sin would be attached to them and their virtue is transferred to us. When we offer donations to pious people and serve them, then also this sort of transfer takes place. When we meditate upon Samartha Sadguru, this kind of exchange occurs through the medium of meditation. A Sadguru accepts services from his disciple and through the medium of those services, he takes the sinful acts of his disciple and bestows fruits of his penance to the disciple. Someone should suffer the results of sinful acts. However, as deities and divine incarnation are of tremendous brilliance and are personifications of blazing fire, they can burn the sinful karmas accepted by them into ashes. Even if we offer with sincerity a leaf, a fruit, or a flower to them, such transfers take place mutually between our sinful karmas and their punya. The process of transfer would be directly in proportion to the intensity of our devotion, surrender, and distress. Sometimes Sripada transfers the sinful karmas to his dependents to inanimate objects like rocks and stone. By knocking at those stones and rocks and through various strange ways, he would be destroying the results of that karma. I will tell a small episode illustrating this. Listen carefully. From the time of birth of Sripada, there was the problem of scarcity of milk. Sumati Maharani was not having sufficient milk. There was a cow in their house. For making offering to Kalagani Shamani Datta in their house, small quantity of milk was needed. That cow used to give that much small quantity of milk, but it used to give milk to its calf to full satisfaction. This was a peculiar nature. At times, Sripada used to stealthily enter the puja room and drink the small quantity of milk kept for Kalagni Shamana Datta even before the offering was made. On such days, Sri Appala Raja Sharma used to offer a small piece of jaggery as Nevedya to Lord Datta, and he used to observe fast on that day. When her husband was fasting, Sumati Maharani also was on fast. In case he waited up to the time of Nevedya, Sripada alone used to drink that milk. The parents were very much miserable that they could not afford to give sufficient milk to that rare divine child born in their family. Venkatappaya Shreshti and Narsimha Varma tried many a time to donate a cow which gave abundant milk. All their attempts were in vain. Appala Raja Sharma would not accept donation under any circumstances. That was his vow. He was of the opinion that acceptance of donation would bring sin. As he was a Vedic scholar, he used to accept rewards presented in Vedic conferences. His income from priesthood was very meager. He was conducting priesthood only to Venkatappaya Shreshti Garu and Narsimha Varma Garu. When those two persons offered some more money than what was normally given to other priests, Appala Raja Sharma used to resent such gestures. Sri Appala Raja Sharma was not accepting anything even from his father-in-law Satya Rushishwaralu. The birthday of Sumati Maharani occurred on Kartika Purnima. Only on that day he was dining in the house of Bapan Narailu. In the same way, on Vaishika Shuddha Tritiya, which was his birthday, he used to take meals in the house of his father-in-law. In course of time, he was taking meals on Ganesh Chaturthi also in the house of his father-in-law, as it was the day of Sripada Jayanti. Thinking about the miserable state of the family, Sumati Maharani one day said to her husband, "My parents are well-to-do people. In addition, they are orthodox people observing strict spiritual discipline. I do not find anything wrong in accepting a cow from the wealthy family of our Maladi parents. We are not in a position to give enough milk to Sripada. I submit that you may consider this matter carefully." Then Appala Raja Sharma replied, "So Bhagyavati, what you said is right. As Satya Rushishwara is unblemished of sin, no fault is committed if a cow is accepted from him. But the approval of Dharma Shastra, that is, scripture dealing with the ethical principles and regulations about this matter, is essential. Many great personages told that Sripada is an incarnation of Datta. Many astonishing things are happening from the time preceding his birth up to this time. If this is the new incarnation of Datta, the cow in our house must give abundant milk, or you must have sufficient milk. Not only that, our eldest son, Sridhara Raja Sharma, is blind, and the younger son, Rama Raja Sharma, is lame. Sripada could free both of them from the physical disabilities. You discuss this matter with your father or ask Sripada himself. But it is not proper for God to create complicated problem all the way to violate my vow." Sumati Maharani submitted this matter to her father. Bapan Naryalu smiled and said, "My dear, all this is a play of Sripada. Sripada is skillful not only in solving problems, he is skillful in creating problems also. I noticed through yogic vision that Sripada is Datta. We got a number of cows in our house. To give one cow, I am not only agreeable but also feel extremely happy. Lord Datta very much like cow's milk. The approval of Dharma Shastra is also necessary as told by her husband. Oh, what an irony of fate! In this world, there are countless son-in-laws who attempt in several methods to grab the wealth of their father-in-law. But my son-in-law stands equal to a blazing fire. We become fools if we attempt to break his vow. Unless he receives clear permission from all the 5 primary elements of creation, your husband would not accept this donation of cow. If Sripada relieves his 2 brothers from physical handicaps, his bond of indebtedness with your family gets severed. Datta, who is freed from death, cannot remain as a child in your house. He leaves the house as a world teacher to uplift the world. Therefore, don't request Sripada even by mistake to remove the physical disability of his brothers. Everything is subservient to time. That time is under the control of Sripada. If Sripada is willing, you would get plenty of milk, but the link of indebtedness with him will be lost to you. When once he is redeemed to death of Lord Datta, would not limit himself to our family. He escapes from the house to assume the role of a preceptor to the universe. If Sripada desires, the cow in your house would produce adequate milk and give milk properly, abandoning its peculiar nature. Then this problem would not arise at all. Therefore, have patience for some time. Datta, who created this knotty problem, will himself solve it. Then Shankar Bhatt asked, Sir, what is the reason for the brothers of Sri Vallabha to be born with physical defects? Are there any hereditary lapses of karma relating to the family? Then Tirumala Das said, My child, Sri Dattatreya incarnated in the evening dusk. Sripada incarnated during the dawn. The ensuing incarnation of Sri Nrsimha Saraswati will take place during midday in the Abhijit Lakhna. The sportive plays of Datta are profound. Darkness spreads after dusk. Living beings remain in sleepy condition. Therefore, the incarnation of Datta assumes full responsibility for the process of development in the yogic endeavors and allows the living creatures to enjoy comfortable sleep. It is thick darkness and people do not know in what direction to proceed, what to do, how to move, and in which direction in the process of evolution. The significance of Datta incarnation is to achieve evolution and development in people without those people being aware of it. Living beings, without any effort on their part or with little effort, traveled towards spiritual evolution from the deepest recesses of inner consciousness in methods unknown to them. This is not limited to earth only. Sripada arrived during dawn. During dawn, all the powers of sun god shine forth at once and purify all creatures. Their souls is a replica of the sun. This indicates the development of infinite variety of several powers awake and dancing in different courses. The midday sun is the form of fierce and terrible raging fire. The purpose of incarnation of Sri Nrsimha Saraswati is to make solar soul to scatter abundantly and freely with complete powers and awaken all living beings. These matters relate to his consciousness that spread all over the universe. Between the incarnation of Datta and the incarnation of Sripada Sri Vallabha, a long black night intervened. That was entirely an embodiment of greater gloom, representing that the elder brother, Sridhara Raja Sharma, was born. After the lapse of dark period, there was advent of another state during which doubts, aesthetic arguments, tricky logics, perverted commentaries prevailed. Representing that, younger brother Sri Rama Raja Sharma was born. Any living creature who shuns inertia, which equals greater darkness, who rises above mental instability comprising of misleading arguments, doubts, and perverse comments, definitely derives the grace of Sripada. This is the secret in this. These matters concern the evolution of living beings in the universe. There were certain mistakes in the actions of the family in the past. Even though Sri Appalaraja Sharma belonged to the sect of Vaidika Velanti Brahmin, their family was having the headmanship of the village. The name of paternal grandfather of Sripada was Sridhara Rama Raja Sharma. It was the custom for Brahmins having administrative powers over the village to affix the title Raja to their names. The word Sharma denotes that the individual is a Brahmin. Sridhara Rama Raja Sharma is the village officer of Ayanvili village. In their family, the eldest son would get the headmanship of the village. Taxes had to be paid to the zamindars, irrespective of the fact whether there was a good yield of crops or a failure of crops, and it was the responsibility of the village officer to collect the taxes under coercion. Therefore, Sridhara Ramaraja Sharma had to collect taxes through violent means in compliance with the orders of the zamindar without having any regard to his personal likes and dislikes. That was his duty and dharma, but it became a sinful act in the eyes of God. The headmanship devolved to the eldest brother of Sri Appalaraja Sharma. On account of the sinful acts of their grandfather, Sripada's eldest brother Sridhara Raja Sharma and the elder brother Rama Raja Sharma were born with physical disabilities. Even though Sripada Sri Vallabha were verily the incarnation of Lord Datta, he also had to suffer from the influence of the small sinful acts of his grandfather. That was why he had to face the shortage of milk. The Lord of the universe will apply the regulations formulated by him to all. Sripada showed us the way, by way of suffering the effects of karma by him also, even though he came as an incarnation. Sri Venkatappaya Shreshti and Sri Vatsavaya Narsimha Varma regarded Sripada as their own grandson. So, they thought for a long while how to solve the problem of milk which was troubling Sripada. Sri Varma called Sri Shreshti and requested him to hit upon a plan to solve the problem. There were some cows born to a well-known cow called Gayatri in the custody of Sri Narsimha Varma. Sri Shreshti bought from Sri Varma one cow having all auspicious qualities. Varma kept the sole proceeds carefully with him. In the meanwhile, Sri Appalaraja Sharma came to the house of Sri Varma for performing priestly duties. Sri Varma gave the money received by the sale of the cow to Sri Appalaraja Sharma on the occasion. That amount was disproportionately large compared to the normal honorarium given to the priests for similar functions. Sri Appalaraja Sharma took out of that amount what was justly due to him and rejected rest of the amount. Then Sri Varma also refused to take back that rejected amount. He said that as a noble Kshatriya, he would not accept back the amount he had once donated. This dispute was referred to Bapannarya. The council of Brahmins was convened. Sri Bapannarya announced in the meeting, anyone who wishes to take the amount rejected by Appalaraja Sharma can do so. Many Brahmins competed with each other to claim that amount. It was all an abnormal, obstinate matter. Then a youth named Papaya Shastri said, Sripada is not an incarnation of God. If he is God, why should the strange condition come to pass? If he is Datta, why he did not save his two brothers from physical infirmity? Certain incidents took place at random. To blow them out of proportion is a crime. I am a devotee of Datta. I also obtain Shweta Rakshaka from my preceptor. Daily I am doing good amount of japa. No taint would stick to me even if I accept any donation. The amount may be given to me as I am worthy of it. The council of Brahmins got the money given to Papaya Shastri. With that amount, one good cow could be purchased. Papaya Shastri went to his house after the meeting with the pride of victory. Then his uncle was in the house. A formal discussion was held between them. Papaya requested his uncle to dine. The uncle replied that he would take meal once in a year and that it was not possible for him to take meals then in his nephew's house. Saying so, he immediately left. After his uncle left, Papaya sat completely absorbed in thought. His wife came and said, "Sami, this uncle who came now closely resembled your own uncle who died last year, is it not?" Papaya was aghast. He was having only one uncle who died last year. Then who was this new uncle? In what an illusion his intellect was entangled. Even though he was having some other people who were uncles in some other ways of relationship, none of them resembled him exactly in all respects. Had he seen the dead soul of his uncle? His heart began to beat violently. He was not having any connection through mantras and tantras with devils and demons. Had he fallen from the grace of Sri Datta, who was being worshipped by him? Would the coming time be a bad one? The words of his uncle while departing from the house, "I hope you will meet me shortly," began to torment his mind in various ways. Was he going to meet his uncle in the next world after dying shortly? His heart became heavy. He chanted the mantra, "Om Dram Dattatreya Namaha." He could not carry on the meditation with single-mind devotion. He went to Sri Kukateshwara temple to see the Swayambhu Datta. He began to meditate upon Datta. In that meditation, he saw Datta without head. When he started to do japa, his mind was vacillating. The prasad given by the priest appeared to have been dipped in a jar filled with poison. The priest was laughing and telling something, but Papaya Shastri heard a message that he should die soon after eating the prasad. When Papaya returned home, he did not find the vermilion mark on the forehead of his wife. He thundered at his wife why she had removed the vermilion mark even when he was alive. She wondered as to why her husband was rebuking even when she had a big vermilion mark as big as a rupee coin. Propaganda that Papaya lost his mental balance gained speed. Pitakapuram was full of rumors, criticisms and canards. Psychological treatment and treatment through sorcery were given to Papaya. He was telling that he was not mad and all that he was telling was true. People there were discussing among themselves that a lunatic also would sometimes speak logically. The wife of Papaya had a good idea. She thought that this was the result of the bad deed of her husband who abused Sripada out of ignorance. It occurred to her that it was better to take refuge of living Sripada shining with divine luster than to bow down before speechless stone images of deities. She went to the house of Sripada. She took the boy in her arms and kissed him. When they were alone, she narrated her dismal state to him. Sripada said, "Auntie, all this will subside with a small adjustment. As you are like my mother, I am telling you the secret. You construct a new house without any delay. When you and uncle enter the new house after performing Vastu Puja, everything will become steady." She did not divulge this information to anyone. She convinced her people, saying that the troubles plagued them because they resided in a rented house and that they must construct their own house immediately. Someone gave a forsaken pit as a donation of land to Papaya. It was immediately filled up with great labor and expense. For the construction of the new house, all the money, gold and valuables in the house were spent. Some amount was also borrowed. Mountain rocks were brought. They were broken into pieces and were used in the construction of the house. Papaya became healthy as soon as they entered the new house. Dear Shankara, but the period of impending death was running for Papaya. Sripada rescued him from the predicament of untimely death. He was subjected to mental agony, dishonor, monetary loss, and other troubles, and the accumulated karma was destroyed. Not only that, the evil karma of Papaya was attracted into the hilly rocks, and by breaking them into small pieces, the karma of Papaya was destroyed. The methods employed by Siddhas and Avadutas would be very strange. Shripada said to Papaya, who regained health, "What a fool you are! You have no head. When Datta, whom you worship sincerely, is before you in human form as Shripada, you are an unfortunate fellow who could not recognize him. You believe that the rocky Datta image in Kukateshwara temple is your savior. I am Datta, who attracted your heaps of sins into the hilly boulders and got them broken into fragments, and thereby erased your karma. I also granted you a new house. If you have reposed faith in this living Datta in the human form, I would have attracted all your evil tendencies unto my body and saved you by nullifying your karma. The fruits of grace of God would depend upon the mental disposition of the devotee." After this Leela of Shripada Srivallabha, Papaya recognized him as an incarnation of Datta. The problem of milk for Shripada was causing trouble to Sri Shreshti and Sri Varma. They approached Sri Satya Rushishwara and said, "Oh, Rajashri, like King Janaka, you are a Brahmagnani absorbed in the Supreme even when leading a worldly life. Ours is a small submission. You have to approve it." For that, Papanarya replied, "How can I express my approval without knowing the submission? You tell me the matter without any hesitation. If it satisfies the principles of Dharma, I will certainly approve it." Then Sri Shreshti said, "I purchased from Sri Varma a good featured cow belonging to the progeny of Gayatri. I wanted to give it to our family priest, Sri Appala Raja Sharma. If that cow's milk is used for the service of Sri Pada, we feel extremely happy. Nothing more than that is worth desiring by us." On hearing the words of Shreshti, Sri Bapanarya said, all right, send the mother cow to our house. I will try to give it to Appala Raja. Stay of that auspicious cow in the house of Sri Appala Raja is specially beneficial both to the donor and the acceptor." The mother cow was brought to the house of Sri Bapanarya. Sri Appala Raja Sharma refused to accept it as a donation. In Himalayas, there was an area called Satopada. From that area only Dharmaraja and others ascended to heaven. A great person by name Sri Sachidananda Avaduta was there. His age was some centuries. He was the disciple of Sri Vishweshwara Prabhu. He was residing in Kaivalya Shrunga. Sri Vishweshwara Prabhu ordered Sri Sachidananda Avaduta that he incarnated as Shripada Srivallabha in Pitakapuram and that Sri Sachidananda should see his childhood form and feel exalted. Sri Avaduta visited Pitakapuram. Sri Bapanaryalu cordially welcomed him. He saw Lord Datta in the form of Shripada Srivallabha and was gratified. The problem of paucity of milk was brought before him. Sri Avaduta empathetically said that Appala Raja Sharma should accept the donation of cow and that Shripada was verily Lord Datta himself, and that with useless restrictions the magnificent service of providing milk to Lord Datta should not be lost. The council of Brahmins demanded evidence to establish that Shripada was Datta. The Avaduta said that he would give evidence through the 5 primordial elements. The 5 fundamental elements giving evidence that Shripada himself was Dattatreya. The sacrifice commenced. Mother Earth gave evidence. As Shripada was Sri Datta, it was not wrong for Appala Raja Sharma to accept the donation of cow. That which was given with love by the father-in-law to his son-in-law could not be counted as a donation. Therefore, Sri Satya Rushishwara could take it as a donation from Shreshti and he could give it as a gift to his son-in-law. This was the statement of Mother Earth. After the yagna started, it was raining all around except in the place of yagna. This was accepted as a second evidence. God of Fire personally took the offerings in the yagna and explained the donation of cow was not wrong. This was accepted as third testimony. The wind evidently shook with terrible speed all the remaining area except the venue of sacrifice. This was regarded as the fourth evidence. A divine voice from the sky announced that Sripada was in reality Lord Datta himself. After accepting the testimonies from the 5 primordial elements of Appalaraja Sharma, accepted the donation of cow. The fruits of the cow donation occurred to Sri Shreshti. Therefore, it was decided that the price of the cow should be given by Narsimha Varma to Appalaraja Sharma. In this manner, in the presence of Sri Avadhuta, a rare meritorious virtue became available to Sri Shreshti and to Sri Vatsavai Varma. In future, Vaisapura Agraharam, which will be called as Kokanada or Kakinada, Shyamalambapura, that is Samaralakota, and Sri Pitakapuram amalgamate and develop into a megacity. People of all countries in the world, people from all races and all traditions will come to Pitakapuram in any birth on any day and have the darshan of Sri Swami. The biography of Sri Pada, written in Sanskrit, titled as Sri Pada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, would receive the blessings of Sri Pada Sri Vallabha. That volume of Bhujra Patra would be kept buried in an invisible form, many fathoms deep underground in the birthplace of Sri Pada, according to the will of Sri Pada. His Padukas would be installed and a temple constructed in his birthplace. Sri Venkatappaya Shreshti, an eminent, affluent merchant who could donate a cow to Sri Pada, was indeed a very virtuous person. His life became an illustrious one. There would be no dearth of wealth and pelf in their family. He would stay for some time in Hiranyaloka, and after that he would take birth in Maharashtra in a very wealthy Vaishya family and witness the incarnation of Sri Nrsimha Saraswati also. Shankara Bhatt, this episode of donation of cow is indeed very auspicious. You can proceed on to Kurvapuram. May Sri Pada Sri Vallabha protect you always.